Imagine a vast, sweeping field of dry, golden grass stretching out beneath a pale, cloud-dappled sky. The sun is soft, not glaring but steady, casting a warm, muted glow over the landscape, where the horizon feels endless and the air is still. The grass ripples slightly, suggesting the breath of a distant breeze, but everything else is frozen, as though time has stopped in this remote, isolated place. The earth is both nurturing and indifferent, worn by seasons of wind, with a palpable sense of timelessness hovering over it. At the center of this scene is a young woman, Christina, lying on the ground. Her body is thin, almost frail, her skin kissed by the sun. Her limbs are delicate, and her posture unusual. She isn't sitting or resting, but rather pulling herself forward with her arms, as though struggling to reach something ahead. The long blades of grass bend under her weight, and the texture of the field feels rough, prickling against her palms as she moves. Her legs are twisted awkwardly behind her, useless, suggesting an unseen, invisible disability, but her face, though not visible from this vantage, is full of quiet determination. You can almost sense the furrow in her brow, the tension in her slender neck. Her dress, a soft pinkish hue that contrasts with the muted earth tones, flows loosely around her thin frame, the fabric gently tangled in the grass, caught in the quiet struggle of her motion. Her hair, perhaps golden or brown, is pulled back, wisps loose in the breeze, and her eyes are surely fixed on something distant. Far off in the distance, perched on a gentle hill, is a weathered farmhouse and barn, stark against the muted sky. They stand as silent sentinels, solid but somewhat desolate, painted in pale whites and grays, their surfaces rough and textured by time. The house is distant yet holds an undeniable draw, as if it embodies both hope and an unreachable promise of safety or comfort. The roof angles sharply, and though the house feels inviting, its remoteness echoes with a faint sense of isolation, a sense that Christina might never reach it. The structures are weather-beaten, shaped by years of wind and sun, and their presence looms large, almost haunting. The mood of the painting is bittersweet, soaked in loneliness but also resilient. Christina's world is one of silent struggle. She is small and alone in this vast expanse of nature, and yet there's a stubbornness in her, a refusal to give up, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The land around her is both a companion and an obstacle, stretching out endlessly, but holding no clear path to the farmhouse. The grass seems to whisper as it bends under her, as if carrying secrets, but also knowing she will continue to crawl forward despite her frailty. The silence of this moment is profound, filled with the sounds you can almost hear, the rustling grass, the distant caw of a bird, the faintest creak of the wooden barn. Yet, deeper than these, is the silence of Christina herself, her thoughts unspoken, her struggle wordless. The painting captures her will, her determination to reach something greater, despite the weight of her body, despite the enormity of the field. In this scene, Christina embodies a quiet courage. You feel the distance between her and the house as more than physical. It becomes emotional, almost symbolic of an internal journey, one of longing, isolation, but also endurance. The painting draws you into her world, a place where fragility meets strength, where hope feels distant, yet unmistakably present. As you imagine this, the emotions shift between sadness and hope, resignation and quiet defiance. You're left wondering if Christina will ever make it to the farmhouse, but more importantly, you understand her will to keep moving forward, despite everything.